Hey, it's Rick with the Rock Bottom Outreach, and it is Real Talk Tuesday. I'm not a motivational speaker by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not a guy that talks about things he's never experienced. And it's just something I've read about. That's not the deal. I share with you my personal experiences. So I just want to make that clear. And the reason I say that is sometimes I hear someone speak on a topic and I kind of wonder about their own personal experience, if that makes sense to you. So I want you to understand mine comes from personal experience. So kind of with that said, when I went through recovery, I had to really examine some of what they call a character defect. Found out I had a lot of them. And so just never called them that before. But here's the deal. When we begin to recognize our strength and our weakness, then we can begin to focus more on the weakness as far as making that stronger. And I'm going to explain to you why that's important. But I want to go back 3 years ago when God gave me the message of predictability, that we're very predictable in our nature. And so with that said, we spoke to Paris High School and we talked about the same deal, that there's something predictable about them, that the enemy scouts them out. They know the strength and the weakness. So what does the enemy focus on? They focus on the weakness. Okay, if you don't believe me, let's go to John 10:10, where it says here, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And I have come that you may have life and have it to the fullest. Okay? And we're talking about Satan. But we also talks about that we prowl around. You know, the enemy prowls around like a lion. And so he's watching you very, very carefully. And so a lot of times you don't see that coming. And so one of the things I began to realize by being real with myself is some things that kept me from going to where I wanted to go in life. And one was fear. I mean, I have a fear of failure, really lacking self-confidence in a lot of areas. And growing up, that's something I battled, and it had to do with an identity, okay, of not knowing really who I was. Because here's the deal. I've learned a lot of young people are more apt to try things knowing they might fail if they're loved unconditionally. Does that make sense? Meaning based on their performance does not dictate how mom or dad loves them any more or any less. It's unconditional. And so a lot of times that can affect us later on in life. We just don't feel like we measure up. And so with that said, going back to school, going back to college, I've talked about that. I want to get my degree in biblical studies. How come I've not done that before? Because I have a fear of failing. I believe now the time was right to go back to school. But here's the one thing that I had to address head on. A lot of times when something became difficult, I took the easy way out. I just quit. Versus trying to get over that mountain, I just gave up and I just quit. But knowing that now and recognizing that, I refused to quit starting 8 years ago. I refused to give up 8 years ago. When I said, I'll do whatever it takes, I'm in it. And I began to say, man, I can do all things through him that strengthened me. Now, do I feel that way every day I get up? No. But I'm reminded of that in God's word. Again, starting this and knowing I'm doing a lot of it online, technology is not a strength of mine. Is it a little intimidating? Yes. But I know if God called me to it, that he'll carry me through it. I mean, that's a fact. And so again, history. If something's difficult, I took the easy way around or I just gave up. But not this time. I recognize that about me. I recognize that and I know that and I'm determined to get over that mountain this time. Here's my question. What are your character defects? Are you so afraid of failing? Do you feel dumb? Do you feel worthless? Do you, feel stupid that you're afraid of doing something because you believe you can't? Okay? Is that what's kept you from progressing at work or going back to school or trying to do a marathon, whatever that may be. You just have this fear of failure. Where does that come from? That comes from the enemy. It says so in the book of John. The enemy comes to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. And so if he can get you believing in that crappy mindset, he'll beat you. He'll beat you every time. Are you also the person that you get everybody to do everything for you? Are you the kind of person that blames everybody else? Okay? Are you the person that gossips about everyone? Be honest with yourself this morning. What are your character defects that you need to get stronger at? Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach. It's been Real Talk Tuesday. Have a great day. Bam!